Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, osia dem yopo.
And I really wish we can focus on this country like joke. Next year we chop 70. If you look at the normal man's life, if at 70 or more bra, then where are you going? The wahala going on with the NPP constituency elections. My goodness, look at the mayhem. And one can easily say that, okay, but KSM, this is a political party that has nothing to do with nation building. Are you sure? This is a political party that is now in opposition, and whatever they do or say or not do or not say has a direct impact on how we build our nation. Master, if you look at the violence going on, all because maybe from what I'm hearing, people go there and they realize that the names of candidates have been removed because they are not favored, and according to gossip that is going on, they are not the chosen people who are supposed to be there, so names have been removed. And then, of course, supporters get there, they want to go and vote for people that they want, and they realize when they get there that their names have been removed. Look at the chaos. Folks, look at what is going on. Noise in Bantuma, in the constituency. And you can't just sit down and close your eyes and say, this is the NPP, doesn't matter. No, these are Ghanaians. And this is a complete reflection on our country as Ghanaians. Even my own son, Okatakyie is my son. I mean, I hope he will come and Okatakyie. I've invited him. Even he, there was a court injunction that the voting must be halted. So he went there and he turned chaotic. Watch this. So I guess they also went with the conjunction, and what you saw is what happened, you know. I'm hoping he will come on my platform and tell us from the horse's own mouth exactly what happened. One thing I want to find from my son, because I know he was wearing green, almost like military fatigue, ready for action. And then there was all that hullabaloo, there was a noise, he was hunked up. And then later on, when I saw pictures, he was not wearing green, he had changed into white, and there was blood in it. I was thinking, this is why I want him. You know, maybe he can explain to us. But, you know, the bottom line is this, folks. What is happening is not good for a country that is supposedly on a path to democracy. You know, I've told you that I have a show coming, 3 things. Show me I'm saying 3 things. Everyone is saying, you know, we have chosen a path that we say is the path to democracy. Are we serious about what we're doing? Now, let me tell you why I find this very troubling. Because, you know, the conventional wisdom is that, gee, Charlie, there's chaos in the NPP, oh, there's chaos in the NPP. Now, this is whatever explanation you give to the chaos in the NPP, that's yours. But the underlying thing is that, wow, now the NDC is sitting pretty. Even in the opposition, there's eternal turmoil. So it means the NDC is sitting pretty. That's why I'm doing the show today, folks. We are all Ghanaians. Oh. We are all Ghanaians. I'm not waving any victory sign that anything. I'm saying this, and I hope not. But trust me, the NDC too is about to go into their primaries and find out who JM says is not going again there, who's going to replace JM and all of that. And I'm telling you, folks, if NDC does not keep the focus, you see this kind of pathetic generation will manifest in the NDC as well. So I am pleading Ghana for, join me in this plea, because it's very unfortunate and bizarre what is happening in the NPP. Silly, unthinking. But you know why? It is the desire for power, the drunkenness for power, that most of the times overtakes our reasoning abilities. And that is a very Ghanaian nature. So all I'm saying is this, to you in the NDC, that same desire for power which overtakes our reasoning abilities is likely to occur if you don't focus and actually maintain the discipline that has so far been manifested. If that discipline is not maintained and that direction is not focused, trust me, what is happening in the NPP will be like a tea party. We are all from Ghana, and we have all come up with a certain level of thinking, and sadly, folks, sadly, when it comes to politics and the desire to grab power, that is the point where Ghanaians become the same. Obia petumi, inti nyansa na ese adwidwe no emma. Inti, what has happened in the NPP, we can ignore and say, oh, Nasa is just one party. But I'm saying we shouldn't. It is a sign of the times. It is a sign of the times that the drive and the desire to grab power sometimes makes us reckless. So I'm just saying that I'll be so impressed if the NDC will keep the focus and not be dragged into something that we expect, say, a Ghanaian behavior, Ghana for. And you'll be wondering why I'm talking plenty. There's this Deputy General Secretary who was interviewed on CDFM not long ago, who was actually throwing out little hints that the grassroots in the NDC are sort of disillusioned.
The relationship between the party and government haven't been the best. It is not about jobs, it's not about who gives who job, it's not about who didn't give who job. I'm saying the relationship between the party and the government to ensure that we succeed together have not been the best. I'm the Deputy General Secretary. It means that all NDC people trusted that we can manage their affairs. And the arrowhead is the president, who is the leader. The second in command is the national chairman. So in most cases, the national chairman is de facto. If the president is not around, we have situations where it switches. The president is the leader of the party. He is also the leader of government. And I'm saying that our relationship as a party and as government have not been the best. We are doing well. Everybody is praising us for stabilizing the economy, stabilizing this, stabilizing that. But the danger is that we are leaving our party behind. And I'm concerned, as the officer in charge of operation, I am concerned.
I mean, listen to me. Whether these are true or not, I don't know. I will never know. But this is a general secretary who is making these claims. If they are not true, he has made them. I haven't had any, denial or anything. If they are true too, then it actually backs what I'm saying, Sir Charlie. When it comes to the circle of power, our thinking is put on the back bench. The desire for power is what we focus now. Everything intelligence is put on the back bench. Folks, let me say this. One of the things that can show that a country is maturing is when everything that is intelligent is put on the front bench and not in the back bench. When we do that, we are not progressing. Folks, I kid you not, let us be serious. This is a country that's just still recovering from the floods. And even with the floods that we have chosen to make it a political issue, let me show you something that happened in New Jersey, USO. Some flooding that happened just a few days ago. Massive flooding in New Jersey. Take a look at this. You saw the flood? Remember a few weeks ago when I said that nobody in his intelligent mind can promise that when I come to power there will be no flooding. What you can promise is that we're going to put things in place to make sure that when floods do come, an act of God, nature, is called the force majeure. When floods do come, we are going to be ready to stand up and do something. For example, you saw all the floods in New Jersey. Their agency, the equivalent for NADO is called FEMA, F-E-M-A. I don't remember the full name of it. But they kept busy. So let me rewind though. All I'm saying is this. No one who is intelligent can go and see somewhere and say, you saw the flood that came. If you had voted for another candidate, the flood wouldn't have happened.
2024 abane ye to ye senka NDC wini a sa nipa 34 aya omowi nka omote attest for asase so because nka NPP no abai mu a ka sa flood way e bi nsi nipa 34 wu.
That is stupid thinking. You don't control floods. But what I want us to think about, all the flooding that went on in New Jersey and parts of the US, do you think the discussion in America was, yeah, Charlie, these Republicans have caused the flood? So Republicans take power. All this was caused by Republicans. If you have voted for the Democrats, there will be no flooding. You say, Jimmy, you hear anything that's stupid coming from even the most unintelligent citizen in America. So the floods have been caused by Democrats or Republicans. Folks, all I'm saying is this. Ghana, we have a long way to go. Even looking at our attitude and how we politicize the floods and talk about shows, you know. There's this presidential candidate called Kofi Kranti. He put a poster out, and the poster was actually making mockery of what JM did with the 2-day cleaning. They called it cleaning the surface. Let me say two things. Number one, I agree with him. He actually listed on the poster what he believes should be done that can help curtail the flooding. And it included underground tunnels, it included better systems of drainage, everything. It's on the flyer. Look at it. And while I agree with Kofi Kranting that what happened really was something on the surface and it cannot solve the problem of flooding, what I want to draw Kofi's attention to is that what GM did was just a short-term immediate reaction. Say, now we as people, let us make sure and understand that we contribute a lot to the disaster with our attitudes. There are so many things you can talk about, whether it's an act of God or act of whoever. But the point is this tragedy, whether we like it or not, there's a human contribution part of it. You know, so Mr. Kofi Kranting, what the exercise simply was just to reawaken citizens actually. We also have a role to play, and the role that we have to play is something we can do now in the short term. There's something I can do now to make sure that at least my gutters are not clogged. Something short-term. But Kofi, you are right. What you are talking about is the long-term vision that we need to pay attention to. So I agree with you. All the things that you talked about, massive drainage, all these things, great. I am pa. But these are the long-term things. That's why on my show I said, so now that we have done this short-term thing, after that, what else? Now is when we should wait for the government or the leadership to come up with a long-term plan of what it will take. And then we start working on it and gradually implementing it. So Kofi, I agree with you on one end, and on the major part, I think you are not fair to say, oh, this is all surface thing, it's not necessary. No, it is surface thing, but it is necessary because people's minds are being awakened to the fact that we have a role to play. In terms of human mannerisms there, it's part of the reset. So however way you look at it, or however way we want to make a mockery out of it here, it's part of the reset. And I'm going to be talking about this very, very soon. Very, very, very integral part of the reset, Charlie. Ghanaians cannot absolve ourselves from the chaos. Yes, it was an act of God, Matthias here. An act of God, that's why it rained. An act of God, that's why it was floods. But it was an act of Ghanaians to make sure that when the flood comes, we'll block all the passageways to the floods, so that the floods will have nowhere to go because you are built in the waterways.
When we visited here, we've realized that if you look up there, we've seen that some people are also using refuse to fill the waterway. We will be visiting them soon to let them do the right thing. And when you look around, these are all waterways. We are not supposed to build around. But you see people fixing pillars. I mean, it doesn't even make sense. How can you build in a waterway? Then the next moment it causes flood I mean, where you are even building, when it rains, the rain will swallow you. I just don't understand why sometimes as human beings we reason like that. We want to build here, and then the next time they will say that government is not doing anything about flooding. But who is actually causing it? Government is doing its part. But if we also decide to keep building in waterways, then what else can government do?
It's a major waterway. That's supposed to flow through under this curve. So that's it. It's supposed to go through this way. That's a big house built on it. Supposed to have a smaller culvert and a smaller flow.
We have choked the gutters.
Obian small, you are there no. Yan boko. What are the people come? We so bad now. Now we are government. It's many one else idea no. You know bano. Why I dare we would have to my mouth. Eh? I dare we would have to go to my mouth. Bro. Asia. Sir, go. You know bano. Who are they to go to mu? You need now film. You first two are. Obian small. You are there no. Yan boko. What are they to go to? We so bad now. Now we are government. It's many one else idea no. How dare you? So be two and I'm with rubber in there. Ana tell sir. It's a talkie and so to enko. Obana is not Japan. Now I say aban be bo mu ana mo say. It's where aban na dey gum.
That is us. Yes, no act of God, no. Act of God, no. But the act of Ghanaians was that we also said, the rains come, we'll block you. You won't have anywhere to go, we'll choke you. So we have a role to play. And so, Jem, this is part of the resetting. That's why people like me, we are saying that we are going all the way for the reset, but we are begging you. The momentum of the reset, in Philly, we have started seeing gradually the changes, but it's a jadam. And that'll be coming on my program that I do that I call 3 Things program. To be coming very, very soon, sooner than you think. But in the meantime, folks, please, the chaos in the NPP should not be seen as something very isolated. Say, hey, before they it shouldn't be seen like that. It could be. It could be because they have lost their senses after the defeat. So it could be. But beyond this, when it comes to the fight for power, you realize that human beings will think as uselessly as it's been done under the NPP. NDC, you are not immune from it. If you don't keep the focus and make sure that you keep steady and look towards nation building, what has happened to the NPP will crawl easily into the fabric of Ghana, because that's who we are. Charlie, my bread. But all I'm saying is that Charlie, you could do 70. when we start doing, let us grow, let us evolve as a nation. If we don't, we will realize that in circles baby. In the meantime, between time, I'm hoping that when we are celebrating our 70th, I can come and stand here and talk about why we should brag that we are 70. If not, I explain why we should be ashamed at being a 70. But
I'm not PENDREAM TV. Now, so far so good. Say open online portal le Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.